So a little over 10 years ago, I start to realize that I can't just make art forever. I actually have to try and sell something. I have to try this art career out. Now, at that time, I'm studying and I hated school. I wanted to quit so badly, but I needed to have some kind of alternative. I needed to have proof that this art career was in fact possible. And so I decided to put my art up for sale. And I remember sitting there in front of my computer being afraid. Utmost afraid. What if people are not going to buy my work? What if people are going to laugh at me? The art establishment going to laugh at me? What if my price is too high and I make a fool out of myself? What if my friends are going to see it and laugh with the fact that I don't sell or sell? All of these thoughts cripple me. I'm sitting there in front of my computer paralyzed, trying to press the publish button, but I just couldn't do it. The pressure was way too high. And so what did I do? Well, I made it myself as easy as possible and uploaded a test doodle. Everything worked well. And so I knew exactly what to do in the next couple of days. I needed to upload all of the real artworks, the ones that I actually wanted to sell. Now, instead of doing that, I did what I did best, which was just to postpone on it. And so the next day came, postponed on it, waited until the right moment came. But that moment never came. I was just waiting for Godot. Next day, same thing. Next day, same thing. Until one day I found the courage. I go on my computer, I open the laptop, go to the online gallery where I uploaded this test piece, and lo and behold, to my surprise, this test piece actually sold. Now, I didn't upload it to original art. I just made the print available for sale. This online gallery had this print-on-demand aspect to it, and the print sold for $50. I got $25 because the gallery took 50% commission or whatever. $25. And here's what I did for that. Nothing. I didn't have to ship it. I didn't have to send it. I didn't have to do anything because it was all print on demand. And so I felt like I was making money passively. Now, of course, it would take another 10 years before I would actually start making money passively. But the point is, sometimes selling art, starting to sell art, can be as simple as putting yourself in a position to be lucky. So what is happening here? Why am I afraid to post my art online? And by the way, why is every single artist afraid to post their art online? One of my recent polls revealed that 78% of people, 78% of artists have not put their art up for sale yet. Why is that? Well, it's pretty obvious. If you spend 10 years of your life, you spend 10 years on making the art, and you never sold a goddamn thing in your life, of course you're going to be afraid. Of course you're going to be afraid. There's this whole sunk cost fallacy that is now built up over the years, and there's simply way too much pressure. If you now fail, it means that 10 years of your life are completely wasted. That 10 years of your life were meaningless. That 10 years of your life were just a wrong decision. You don't want to realize that. And it's way easier to just not try and sell at all than to try and sell and potentially realize that all of it was for nothing. And so as an artist, you are putting way too much pressure on yourself. Way too much pressure that then leads into postponing, into paralyzation. And so what's the solution to that fear? The solution is what I just described. The solution is to relieve that pressure and make it yourself as easy as possible. And what does that mean in the art world? It means that you have to stop selling original art. You have to stop spending years and years making that original art and start, well, you know what? Sell prints. Now, I'm not saying that you have to make 10 pieces, 20 pieces, 30 pieces, 40 pieces, and then go to a print shop where the minimum amount of prints is 100, and you decide to make prints of 3 pieces, so that's 300 prints, and now you have to pay thousands of dollars so that you can sell those prints. That's not what I'm saying. That's insane. That's the same type of postponing. That's the same type of pressure. And also extremely dumb because you don't even know if these prints are going to sell. This is not how you sell prints. This is how you lose money. This is how you make a dumb decision that you will regret. And then, because of that regret, not try again afterwards. And so this is not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that you use print-on-demand services. So print-on-demand services, what does that mean? So it's basically a facility that is going to make prints of your art whenever there is an order. Print on demand. And so what does that mean? Well, it means that you don't need inventory. You don't need to buy 100 prints first, 200 prints first, 300 prints first, so that you can then afterwards sell. No, you need 0 prints. None. And then when there's one order, they will print one print and then ship it to the customer, deliver it to them. That's it. You don't need any shipping. You don't need any packaging. You don't have to do anything. It's all done automatically for you. It's 100% passive. That is what I'm recommending you. Now, is this the best way to sell prints? Let me put this. Is this the best way to sell prints? No, it's not. It's 100% not the best way, but it's the best way to start after you do this. And you know with certainty. So instead of buying 300 prints of 3 original artworks, 100 of each, and then testing it out, what you do instead is the following. You take 30 of your pieces, you make 30 of them available for prints, and then you look at which ones sell. And then 3 of them sell, 4 of them sell, 5 of them sell, and the rest doesn't sell at all. And here's the thing, you are not going to know which ones sell and which one don't. Artists think that they, for some reason, know which of their artworks are the best artworks. But then if you test it out in the marketplace, you will see that that is simply not the case. If you have 30 original artworks and you have a personal favorite, and then you make them available for prints, I guarantee you that in 100% of the cases, the prints that sell are not going to be your personal favorites. I don't know why that is, but that's just the way the marketplace works. Somehow, for some reason, you don't get to decide which of your artworks are good. That's just the way the world works. And so this is how you have to think about it. You first use print on demand to test out which ones sell so that you don't have to invest any money. And then, once you know which ones sell with certainty, then you go to a print shop where you have better quality, better art, better everything. And then you sell those prints, signed, limited edition for higher price points. That's how you do it. And so why do I recommend you to follow this exact principle, this exact process? Because it's the least amount of pressure. In this process, there is zero risk. You don't pay anything for any prints up front. Zero risk. When there is zero risk, the chance of you actually starting to sell, actually pushing you in that direction becomes larger. You just increase those chances, as simple as that. What is the worst thing that an artist can do? The worst thing that they can do is buy a studio or rent a studio. $500 a month for an art studio. That's a waste of your time. That mindset is going to increase the amount of pressure. If you are not selling, or if you are, let's say, making $500 a month from your art, the idea that you will spend that on an art studio is absolutely laughable. This is how you waste your money. This is not how you have to think. The idea that if you are making $500 a month from your art, that you are going to spend thousands of dollars on a print machine to make your own prints, or thousands of dollars on prints from a professional facility so that you can start selling them. All of that is BS. All of that is a waste of money. You don't do that. The quickest way to lose all your money is to literally spend it. This is just not the way you should do it. The quickest way to fail in business is to spend all of that money. Whenever you can do something cheaper, do it cheaper. That's the mindset. The problem is that artists are focused way too much on making the art itself. Here's what I did. After the first series of artworks that I made, what I did is the following thing. I became insecure. Insecure that people would think that I'm a fraud. Insecure and afraid that people would think that I'm not serious enough with my art because I only have one series of artworks. I don't have enough. And so what did I do out of that insecurity? Instead of selling, instead of making some print-on-demand prints available, instead of doing that, what I did is I made another series of artworks. Why did I do that? Just because of my ego. Just because I was insecure. And this is the wrong mentality. This is what artists do. They spend time. They spend money on things that they don't even know work yet. You want to test out whether or not pieces sell as quickly as possible with the least amount of money and the least amount of pressure available. And the simplest way to do that just happens to be print-on-demand services. Now, if we go back to the poll that I shared, 78% of artists haven't started selling their art or haven't even uploaded, haven't even offered their art for sale yet. Well, if you think about this, from those 22% artists who did, how many of them did it just once? How many of them offered 2 pieces up for sale? How many of them simply made a post? Or how, like, the amount of people that actually offer it for real, it's like 2%. 1%, 2%, 3%. Everybody is talking about the art world being so saturated, but how many of them take it seriously? How many of them are actually trying for real? Barely any. Now, here's the thing. Why are people not doing that? Why are artists not offering their art for sale? Well, if you think about it, they are surrounding themselves with 78% of artists, with 80% of, with 90% of artists, with people that are not offering their art for sale. If you go to your local art class, what will you find? You will find 45-year-olds that are taking it easy, that are not trying at all, that are absolutely not going to offer their art for sale because, well, because of whatever story they tell themselves. And if you put yourself in that surrounding and you know that you're only as good as the average of the 5 people you spend most time with, then you know what's going to happen. You will not offer your art for sale. You will not start selling your art with prints in the next year. That's just how it is. And so how can you solve that? What can you do to make sure that you put yourself first and foremost in a group of people where people actually try and sell, where you are inspired by that mindset, the right mindset? Well, you could, of course, go and check out my online artist residency where people like you, like-minded people come together with one goal in mind, namely to sell their art. So check it out. Links in the description. That said, get the hell out of here.